Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared12 here bringing you another Minecraft construction vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Hyundai HL 730 front end loader. This here is a vehicle that's designed to kind of basically load dump trucks, or basically just to be really dirt movers. They have a big bucket on the front which allows them to scoop up dirt and basically drive up to a dump truck or to a spot and be able to dump that dirt. Pretty straightforward stuff. Front end loader because the bucket for it is located in the front of the vehicle. So pretty simple terminology there, but it's a really cool vehicle, and I guess you can really say kind of one of the more iconic construction vehicles out there. It's pretty widely used and really kind of a universal design for the front loader. Now this version here is specifically built off of the Hyundai HL 730, which is the exact model and variant or version of this vehicle that we have here in front of us that this is based off of. But realistically, honestly, most of them all really look the same. There's not a whole lot of differences. It's pretty much one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it designs. Where they're kind of universally the same. So you can obviously use this for Caterpillar or whatever, and I wouldn't be surprised if Caterpillar actually even uses some of these and they just put their naming on it. But anyways, really cool looking build, and I think it came out really good. This is kind of my entry back into doing some construction themed builds, and I think it's a really cool kind of genre, just due to construction vehicles being super cool. And I mean, as a kid, I always loved the construction vehicles, and now building them in Minecraft, I'm starting to kind of get that love and that appreciation for construction vehicles all over again. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at this vehicle. So, of course, we have the big front bucket here on the vehicle. Again, nothing too fancy with it, just a big giant scooped bucket. This does have the ability to lift up hydraulically and be able to actually tilt the bucket as well. This version here obviously just has the bucket here on the ground. We have all the arms and mechanisms and hydraulics for the movement of the front bucket, all located in the front, as well as our front wheels. This vehicle is also an articulating vehicle, so what it means is that the whole body kind of turns in the middle, so it's kind of jointed and it will kind of bend and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. And that's kind of this section here. You can see is kind of all the joints and connections and all that stuff. We have the little steps to actually be able to get up into the vehicle, a little platform here, and obviously the cab for it. We have the back of the vehicle, which is where the engine's housed. Again, nothing too crazy, just some vents, exhausts, all that stuff, your rear wheels, and then we have the back of the vehicle here. Pretty straightforward stuff. So overall, I think it's a really cool build and should make a cool addition to any of your worlds if you're trying to build some construction themed builds. But with that, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started here with our first layer, layer 1. For layer 1, we're going to start off with placing down a polished blackstone brick stair like this, and then an upside down stair to both sides of it, like so. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then grab our birchwood trapdoors, and we're going to go ahead and go from the stair here. We're going to go and skip a space, and then place down a birchwood trapdoor like so. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here with our wheel. We're going to skip a space, place down our upside down stair, and our polished blackstone full block here, and our upside down stair directly behind that. After we have that complete, that's going to kind of set up our front axles. From this point here, we're going to go ahead and then go from our center point. So from this trapdoor, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 blocks forward. And then on your fourth block here, we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor and open it like so. We then want to place down an upside down birchwood stair to both sides of that trapdoor, and then one more trapdoor like this to both sides. Again, you want them opened up like so. We'll then delete those blocks just like that. After that is all done, we want to go ahead and then take our polished blackstone walls. We're going to place down a row of 5 across this space here. We will also want to go ahead and place down a row of gray concrete underneath those walls, so a row of 5 underneath there as well. We're going to place down a polished blackstone upside down stair to both sides, a gray concrete block behind the stair, and then a polished blackstone stair coming off that gray concrete. Between the gray concrete blocks, we're going to place down a row of 5 of polished blackstone slabs, and then a row of 5 of dark oak trapdoors across as well to go ahead and create the start there of our bucket. Once that's done, going ahead and going back to this section here, we're going to take our birchwood trapdoors, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these trapdoors across. And actually, we're going to go and just go back 6. To the sides of the last two trapdoors, we're going to go ahead and place down birchwood trapdoors like so. Coming off the last row of 3 there, we're going to place down a polished blackstone brick upside down stair, and then a full block body behind those stairs, and then there's a stair on the back of those stairs like that. We're going to go ahead and skip this middle space between the stairs, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row 3 of birchwood trapdoors, and then a second row of 3 across as well. After that is all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 1. Here is a top-down view of what it looks like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to begin with, we're going to go and place down a sideways yellow shulker box right here, and then same thing over here on this side like so. We then want to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone brick full block on both sides of that shulker box, an item frame, and a yellow concrete block in the item frame. If you're on Java, you can also place a birchwood button on the side of that shulker box as well, and same thing will be done over here on this side as well. After that is done, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for our rear wheel. So we're just going to do the same thing like this. Again, don't forget that button there if you're on Java. And again, same thing over here. So just like that. And we have our wheels set for this layer. Now to go ahead and get started with this, we're going to be going ahead and first focusing on our bucket. We're going to place down a gray concrete block on top of that stair there to both sides, and a stair coming off that gray concrete going forward. We then want to place down a row of 5 of upside down polished blackstone stairs across to go ahead and continue our bucket design there. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a sandstone wall on top of these birchwood stairs, and a birchwood trapdoor coming off the sandstone wall and closed like so. We then want to go ahead and place down a birchwood fence gate coming off this, an end rod, and then a birchwood top slab. Just like that, to go ahead and form this mechanism here down the center. Once we get to this point here, we're going to go ahead and then grab a birchwood fence gate. We're going to place it coming off these two yellow shulker boxes and a yellow concrete block there in the center. After the yellow concrete block, we're going to place down an additional 1, 2, and 3 blocks back. And on the side of those 3 blocks, we're going to go ahead and place down 3 yellow stained glass panes. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down an anvil that's going to be sitting on top of this block here. So we have an anvil. And then to the sides of the anvil, we're going to place down a skeleton skull. After that, we're going to place down a yellow concrete block here. And then we want to go ahead and grab a sandstone wall. And we're going to place down a sandstone wall to both sides of this yellow concrete. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of yellow concrete, a second row of 3, yellow concrete block here in the center, and then also a birchwood fence gate to both sides. We're going to go ahead and place down another row of 3 of yellow concrete across, and then a second row of 3. After that second row of 3, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 5 going across, and we also want to go ahead and grab a dark oak with trapdoor, and we're going to place it coming off this block of black stone brick like that on the side there. And then continuing on to the back, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of black concrete, 1, 2, 3, and then a narrow brick wall to both ends, and then an item frame coming off those narrow brick walls. In those item frames, we're going to place down red apples like that to go ahead and make the brake lights. After that's all done there, that is going to complete everything we have there for layer number 2. Here is a top-down view of what it should look like from the top-down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into, real quick, actually, before we do, I almost forgot, a few things up here in the middle section is we're actually going to place down a trapdoor coming off the stairs here, or the full blocks here. And we're also going to place down a fence gate coming off of the walls here. This fence gate is going to be opened up to the outsides, and a dark oak wood sign placed on the front there of the fence gate. So it's going to look like that there to both sides. After that's all finished there, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 2. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to begin with, we're going to place down a dark oak trapdoor on this middle block here. And we then want to go ahead and place down a lever on top of these 2 top slabs. We're going to take our polished blackstone slabs, place down a row of 5, going across that midsection like so. After that, we want to go ahead and then place down a birchwood stair on top of these trapdoors, and then we're going to place down a sandstone wall that goes back from those stairs, followed by 1, 2, and 3 more. So you should have a total of 4 walls going back. In this middle space here, we're going to go ahead and place down a yellow concrete block that's going to be on top of this top slab here. And then we want to go ahead and place down a birchwood stair. That's going to be 1 block back, so it's going to fill this space right here. And then a yellow concrete block right behind it. So it will look like that there. We're going to go then place down a row of 3 of yellow concrete across this space, like so. For the front wheel here, we're going to go ahead and complete this by going ahead and place down our polished black stone full block here, and then our polished black stone stair to both sides. We're going to be doing the same thing on the back here as well for these wheels. So we'll just go ahead and knock it out right now. After that's done, we want to go ahead and then place down a grindstone. To do this, we're going to place down a yellow concrete block on top of this one, and then a grindstone coming off it going forward like so. We're also going to go ahead and grab birchwood fence gates, and we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate that is going to come off the sides of that grindstone, and then a sandstone wall on both sides of this yellow concrete block. We're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate on top of this one here, open it to the side, same thing over here, and then we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of the fence gate, so it's going to look like that to both sides. We're going to place down 2 rows of 3 of yellow concrete, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor on top of this one, and closed the same way against the front of the stair. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 2 more rows, so you have a total of 4 rows of 3 of yellow concrete across. We're going to place down our dark oak wood trapdoor coming off the face of this stair here, and then we want to place down a deep slate tile full block to both sides and a yellow concrete block there in the center. We're going to place down our row 3 of yellow concrete across, this time followed with a birchwood slab to the sides. And then we're going to place down a row 3 of nether brick walls across this space as well, followed by a wither skeleton skull at a slight angle in the corners like that on the top of those walls. And after you have that all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 3. Again, here is a top-down view of what it should look like for this layer. One thing also is for the front wheels here, coming off these stairs are facing toward the back, we're going to place down some trapdoors on the side of those as well. Anyways, though, that right there is going to include everything we have for layer number 3, and with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a sandstone wall on top of this yellow concrete block, and then we want to go ahead and place down a birchwood slab to the side of that wall. We're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood stair that goes back from those slabs, and then we want to go ahead and place down a sandstone wall, and then a yellow concrete block to both sides. In between the yellow concrete, we're going to place down a birchwood stair, and then we're going to place down a birchwood stair going back from the yellow concrete blocks on the sides. In the middle space here, we're also going to place down a yellow concrete block like that. Once we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and place down a birchwood upside down stair in that space like so, and then a yellow concrete block right behind it. This yellow concrete is going to go out to the side 1 and 2 blocks, and we're also going to go ahead and grab our skeleton skulls and place them on both sides here of this sandstone stair, or this birchwood stair. After that, we're going to then place down another yellow concrete block out to the side. This is going to be followed with a birchwood fence gate that is going to be coming off of it, opened up toward it on this side, like so. Now, once we get to this point, we also want to go ahead and place down a polished black stone stair that's going to be on top of this stair here, and then a top slab going forward from it. And just so we don't forget, on top of those top slabs, we're just going to place down a black carpet like that for the little fenders over the wheels. Now, once that's done, we're going to go ahead and also place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of this yellow concrete block. And then we're going to place down another row of 3 of yellow concrete across. On the sides of this row, we're going to place down a lever to both ends. We then want to place down a polished black stone upside down stair like so, a dark oak wood trapdoor, and another upside down stair after it. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side as well. So just like that. And we're just going to place down 3 rows of 3 of yellow concrete to fill the inside in. This section here, we're going to place down a yellow concrete block in the center, then a deep slate tile to both sides, and we're also going to place down a ladder on the side of those blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down a row 3 of yellow concrete, and then a lever on both sides facing upwards. And then taking our black concrete, we're going to place down a row 3 across, and we're going to place down some ladders on the side of those blocks. And once we have that all finished there, one of the last things we really have to do here is going to involve this fence gate. Now, depending on what version of the game you're on, you will be able to kind of do something different. So for us on Java, or for not on Java, so Bedrock, Pocket Edition, etc., you'll place down a skeleton skull come off this fence gate. If you are on Java, we can go ahead and build a block that's a space off from this fence gate. So like this, we'll place a lever on that block, And we can use this tool called the debug stick. Now to get the debug stick, we'll type in the command /give at p Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command here, press enter will get you this glowing stick. And what you can do is you can left click the lever to get selected facing. We're going to go and right click this and rotate this around till it comes off our fence gate. And the same thing can be done over here on this side. And it just kind of helps keep us a little bit kind of, the same with our levers there, supports for these rails that are on the side of the vehicle. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 4. Here is again a top-down view of what it should look like so far. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to start with, we're going to place down a grindstone on top of this wall. Coming off the grindstone, we're going to place down an end rod, and then 2 birchwood fence gates that go toward the cab of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and place down a lectern right here. And then after we have that lectern placed, we want to go ahead and place down a birchwood trapdoor on top of the wall right there. And then we're going to go ahead and then place down a daylight detector going back from it. Make sure you close the trapdoors or the fence gates if they do open. And then a skeleton skull on top of those 2 stairs right there. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some gray concrete. We're going to place down a gray concrete block on top of this stair here. And we then want to place down a row of 3 of gray concrete behind it, and then a second row of 3. In the corner spaces here, we're going to place down narrow brick walls, like so. We also want to go ahead and grab our end rods, and we're going to place down an end rod on top of the fence gate and on top of the levers. And this could be on both sides of the vehicle, like so. And we also want to take our black carpet and place it on top of these yellow concrete blocks. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and place down a daylight detector on top of these stairs. And we're going to go ahead and turn that to the night mode so you have that bluish gray color. We then want to place down a polished blackstone slab in between the detectors. And then after that, we want to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of black concrete and a second row of 3. We're going to then place down a row of yellow concrete block here in the center, a deep slate tile block to both sides, and a ladder coming off the side of those blocks. We're going to place down a row of 3 of yellow concrete and a lever we're going to go ahead and flick downwards, like so. And then we're going to place down a row of 3 of black concrete. We're going to place down a ladder in the center and then an item frame to both sides. In the item frames, we're going to go ahead and place down white concrete. And if you're on Java, we can go ahead and also grab a dark oak wood sign, and we can place a dark oak wood sign on the side of the blocks as well. Again, that's going to be a Java only feature to place down item frames and signs in the same block space. One last thing before we go ahead and move into our final layers here is going to be the addition of a birchwood fence gate coming off of this daylight detector. And you want to make sure that this fence gate here is, or actually the fence gate, sorry, my bad, is going to be coming off of these skeleton skulls. So just make sure the fence gates come off the skeleton skulls, and then we're going to open these fence gates here forward, like so, and then we're going to place down an item frame on the fence gates, and then a white bed in the item frames like this, rotated sideways. We're going to go ahead and also grab ourselves a birchwood sign, and we're going to place a birchwood sign for my Java players on the side of the fence gates. So like that. And once you have that done, you have those little lights there done for the vehicle. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and resume with the tutorial. After that's all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything and everything does appear to be good to go and squared away. Here is a top-down view of what we should have with this layer complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our last final layers. Moving into our last final layers, we have layers 6 through 9. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and grab some black stained glass. We're going to build 2 blocks that go up from the space here. And we then want to go and take our narrow brick walls up 2 as well. Along the sides here, we're going to build our glass up 2 and have 2 columns going up. And then we're going to go ahead and just fill in the space here in the middle with glass as well to go ahead and fully close that off. We're going to go ahead and place down an end rod on top of these 2 end rods on the furthest outside here. And above this end rod right here, you can either place down a dark oak wood fence gate. So you can either do something like that and open it toward that wall there. Or if you are on Java like me, we're going to go ahead and use a narrow technique here. So very similar to what we did before. We're going to place a block here to the side, a lever, and then we're going to use our debug stick here to go ahead and rotate it around till it comes off of that narrow brick wall. And again, we're going to do the same thing over here on this side as well. So just like that. Now on top of that wall, we want to go ahead and just place down a black stained glass pane. And it's going to look something just like that for the side mirrors. After that's all finished there, we're going to go ahead and also place down a end rod That's going to go on top of this daylight detector. And then we're going to place down a skeleton skull that's going to come off the end rod like this out to the side there for that little railing there. We then want to place down a row of 3 of birchwood slabs across, then 1, 2, 3 along the side, 1, 2, 3. In this middle space, we're going to place down a dragon head, and then a black concrete block, and then we want to go ahead and grab our deep slate tile slabs, and we're going to place down a deep slate tile slab. And then on top of that black concrete, we're going to go ahead and place down another brick wall on top of it for the exhaust. On the back here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of daylight detectors. Then we want to place down a flower pot in the center, and then a dark oak trapdoor to both sides of the flower pot. We're going to go ahead and close the trapdoors like that. After that's finished, for the roof of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of daylight detectors, a second row of 3, and then a third, or actually 2 rows of 3, and then this third row, we're going to leave that middle space open. In that middle space, we're going to place down a red sandstone wall. This here is for the kind of orange caution light on top of the vehicle. And then we're going to place down item frames coming off the corner daylight detectors facing forward and back. We're going to place down white concrete in those item frames. And again, if you're a Java player, we can place a birchwood sign on the side of the daylight detectors as well, just to kind of help blend the blocks in a little bit better to the vehicle. So just like that. And then on top here of the daylight detector here to the back right side, we're going to place down a iron bar on top of it for the radio antenna. After that is all done right there, the last thing we really have to do is going to be the banners. Now the banners here are pretty straightforward. I'm not going to show you guys how to make them in the loom because they're really simple. But I'll describe them to you. Basically, we have 2 banners here. They're both black banners, and one is going to have a dark gray line on the left side. One is going to have a dark gray line on the right side going vertically. Really straightforward. That's about it. We're going to do the same thing on the back here. We're keeping that gray line on the outsides. And then a black banner there in the center. And then to this side here, we're going to place down this so that the gray is facing away from the middle of the banners. So it's going to look something like that there. And once you have that all done right there, that's going to pretty much wrap up my tutorial here for this Hyundai HL 730 front end loader construction vehicle. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do a business build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from a silent build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does pretty social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun for all that fun stuff. And with that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.